Yesterday, the rights lobby group, Section 27, and the family of the toddler, Michael Komape, who drowned in a pit toilet 5 years ago, took the fight against the Department of Basic Education to the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein. In 2013, the Polokwane High Court dismissed the Komape family's 3 million rand claim for general health and constitutional damages. The 5-year-old died on his fourth day at the school in 2014 when he fell and drowned in a pit toilet at a primary school in Chebeng Village that's just outside Polokwane. Talking us about this now, we're joined in studio by Umunyana Rugege, who is from Section 27. She's an executive director there talking about this particular case. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thanks for having me.
So yesterday, the Komape family and Section 27 approached the Supreme Court of Appeal, hopefully to reverse the judgment in their lawsuit that they filed against the the Department of Basic Education. So talk to us about what actually happened yesterday.
So yesterday was, one more step in the long road to justice for the Komape family. We've been representing them since 2014 when Michael died, and we approached the High Court. We were not very successful in the High Court, and so we decided together with the family to take things further to see if we can get some justice for the family. So the Supreme Court of Appeal heard an appeal that was about the damages claim for the family, as well as you know, in the High Court there was a structural order that talked about the broader issues around sanitation in the schools in Limpopo. And so the government actually does have to start improving the sanitation situation that led to the tragic death of Michael Komape, who was 5 years old, as you've said.
Yeah.
And I think what was so important about yesterday's hearing is that the family felt heard for the first time.
Yeah.
So their story was first and foremost to the judges. The judges were incredibly sympathetic to the circumstances of the Komape's death, to the grief that they felt, and to the injustice of the way in which the department had conducted itself, first by allowing children to attend school in such dilapidated state, and then at the time of the death, just the callousness of the state officials at that time.
Yeah.
And that was part of the conversation at court yesterday.
So 3 million rand is what the family are claiming. How is this amount settled on, or not settled on, decided on?
So, what we asked for were general damages, which were in about 1 million rand. So that's about the pain and suffering, the emotional shock and psychological injury. It included counseling and future medical expenses. And then separately, we claimed 2 million rand in constitutional damages. And, that's really a new area of our law. It hasn't been litigated that much. And so there was a great debate in court, in fact, about what that actually means. And, at what stage do you get there? If you're compensated in terms of the common law, to the extent that the court feels is an adequate compensation, do you then go to constitutional damages? So that was a great debate amongst the judges and the lawyers yesterday, and we'll see what the court says. But the constitutional damages are really about relief for the violation of the right.
Indeed.
And the other part of it is kind of a deterrence to the state to make sure that that situation doesn't reoccur. And that they fix what has gone wrong that has led to the rights violation.
And yet it still continues. I mean, in 2019,
it still continues. 2019,
we're still sitting with pit toilets at schools.
We are sitting with pit toilets, very dangerous learning facilities for students and for learners. And I think there has to be more attention and more outrage about this, because we cannot have 5-year-old children or children of any age in such a situation. And the judges were very alive to that fact. And they talked about the disgusting state of the toilet. Justice Wallace said, can we even call it a toilet? I don't think so. I think he was quite right.
Yeah.
And it's unacceptable.
It certainly is unacceptable. And what has been the response from the Department of Education to all of this?
So yesterday in court, the government was actually given a very short shrift. In fact, Judge Nafsa, who was presiding, asked the counsel for the state to take instructions from the state attorney who was in court and find out if they were in fact going to persist in defending this claim. And they decided in court in the moment not to proceed to say that they didn't think that there had been trauma and psychological injury to the family. They accepted that. So really it's a matter of the amount of compensation that the court will decide upon.
So now we wait for the outcome from the Supreme Court of Appeal. Any expectations there? Obviously it's not up to you to talk to the judgment, but when can we expect something from them?
Well, you know, this term is ending quite soon. We're told that, you know, from people who watch these things, that potentially in the next term, hopefully by the end of the year, we will have a judgment. And I think for the Komape family, it really, yesterday there was a sense of relief because they felt that there was a listening, they were being heard, and there was a sense of relief from them. In fact, Mrs. Komape says, now I can rest, you know, because it's been incredibly traumatic for a very long time. And, you know, they have been stoic. But we continue to support them and support their well-being.
Thank you for talking to us. Thanks for updating us on this very, very important conversation where the fight still continues, pit toilets still existing, even after the outcry from communities here in South Africa. Michael Komape dying at the age of 5 years old. And this is what's under the spotlight right now. Umunyana Rugege, the Executive Director of Section 27, talking to us about Michael Komape's family taking their fight to the justice, for justice to the Supreme Court of Appeal.